What wide receiver being drafted in the first 2 rounds is getting overdrafted at this moment, Josh, that you have major concerns with?
So this is a receiver that goes in the first round. He turns 31 in December. His quarterback underwent a mysterious foot surgery in March, and The Athletic reported today that the timetable for this quarterback is unknown. How the heck do we not know what's happening with a quarterback who had a foot surgery in March? I'm talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, which means the receiver is Davante Adams. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll take my bow. So I think Davante Adams is absolutely awesome at football. The concerns I have is Jacoby Myers commands some kind of targets. He's not going to be a pushover. Hunter Renfrow commands some kind of targets. He's not a pushover. And with Davante Adams, we need not just high volume, but high touchdowns. You don't draft a receiver in the first round to say, oh, I cannot wait for 120 receptions and 5 touchdowns. But do I think that Davante Adams' double-digit touchdown streak ends this year? I think there's a pretty good chance of it. Garoppolo's a major downgrade from Carr. Garoppolo's played in awesome situations. New England, San Francisco. This is the worst offensive line of his career. Everyone has concerns about Jimmy Garoppolo's injury history. And yet, do we just not care that the Raiders have the worst offensive line that he's played with? You think the guy that already struggles to stay healthy is going to stay healthy? I've already taken the season-long pass yards under for Jimmy Garoppolo on DraftKings, and that really ties in with Davante Adams. Davante Adams is at the age where sometimes we see someone like a Julio start to fall off. I think he's okay. But then on top of that, the quarterback concerns are just so massive. Josh McDaniels looks like a head coach that's about to get fired. The Raiders are in contention for next year's number 1 overall pick. I just want nothing to do with these early round Raider selections. So I am about 50% below the field right now with Davante Adams.
It's also the fact that he's bracketed by A.J. Brown and CeeDee Lamb like an underdog. So like, you don't have to be a hero here. Like, you can pivot off and still get exceptional wide receiver production here by just kind of fading Davante Adams. The cliff is usually steeper than people realize. Guys don't usually have like a graceful decline in production. It's usually very, very pronounced.
Copy and paste everything Larky said with Davante Adams. This was our original debate on man versus machine. Because I have Amon-Ra St. Brown ahead of Davante Adams. I have A.J. Brown ahead of Davante Adams. So there's several names that I have ahead of Davante Adams in my rankings this year. And it's everything that Josh just said. I've been talking about, one, just how bad Jimmy Garoppolo is in comparison to Carr, and not throwing the ball down the field and more short intermediate routes and hitting the receivers underneath. Where last year we saw Davante Adams have a career high in yards per reception, had a career high in air yards, had a career high in targets. None of that's going to happen with Jimmy Garoppolo under center. And so I think that people need to temper their expectations with Davante Adams, because Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get him killed. He's going to throw him low. He's going to hit him in the feet. I mean, he has his own inconsistencies as well. And we can't expect him to have the amount of volume, targets, and overall success that he had with Carr, who he played with in college, who he played with in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. This is a far, less of a quarterback with Jimmy Garoppolo when he's healthy, let alone on the field. And when he's not in the field, because we know he's going to miss games, it happens every single year. Who's the quarterback that's going to be throwing to him? And so there's a lot of uncertainty to Davante Adams.
If you like that video, be sure to subscribe and activate those alerts so you get notified as soon as new videos drop. And be sure to check out playerprofiler.com. We have all the tools for you to dominate every type of fantasy league. We have a draft kit, Dynasty Deluxe, data analysis, DFS Dominator, and don't forget the player rankings to rule them all.